When it comes to performance and that overwhelming, fulfilling feeling of satisfaction, the significance of the thickness of your wood matters more than ever. While size queens may applaud this broad claim, cigar guys have to consider the thickness of our cigar humidor wood more than anything else, typically. While many a humidor nowadays may come constructed from acrylic or some other form of composite material, they typically do still have a bit of Spanish cedar stuffed inside via the form of a tray or an under tray, some form of lining, and for a very good reason. Spanish cedar not only looks awesome and makes our cigars smell great, but it also serves a performance purpose because it absorbs and releases moisture, which is very important for keeping cigars in their optimum condition. But a few slender strips of the flimsy stuff isn't going to cut the kimchi. You need big, thick wood to make that humidor work properly. And here is why. Essentially, it is the thickness of the cedar itself that will help regulate humidity, because the thicker the wood, the more moisture it can absorb and release. While many cigar humidor manufacturers out there will claim that they have Spanish and cedar inside, and it be true, they only add a thin veneer sheet of the stuff, which really doesn't do diddly squat for keeping your humidor in optimum condition. Oftentimes, this translates to less than 0.2 millimeters of thickness of Spanish cedar inside one of our competitors' humidors. Whereas here at Claro, we go with a full 5 millimeters of Spanish cedar in our coping, as well as down inside the box itself. This not only helps regulate humidity, but it gives even more aromatics to the cigars within because Spanish cedar smells amazing. And yes, it will deter tobacco beetles because they hate that wonderful aroma. Therefore, the old saying that thicker is better stands to be quite accurate, especially when it comes to our cigar humidors. And the fact that most of the Spanish cedar in the world does come from South America and not Spain is a fun little piece of trivia that not a lot of people know. That said, shop smart. Make sure that the cedar inside of that humidor that you are eyeballing has at least 5 millimeters of authentic Spanish cedar inside, because a lot of times shady humidor websites will market a humidor as having some form of wood lining inside. Authentic wood. And yes, it is authentic wood, but unless it's authentic Spanish cedar, preferably of the Peruvian variety, it is not going to do diddly squat for retaining that humidity level that you seek. Speaking of thick wood, I better get my ass down to the local lumber mill and pick up some Japanese cedar for finishing the bar back behind me here in my cigar studio. Thank you for joining me and getting a little bit of information today about what matters for your humidor, and we will catch you in the next video. Cheers.